Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I'll be making creamy chicken, mushroom and asparagus risotto. This is not the traditional way of making risotto, so all the Italians out there, please look away right now. We have quite a lot of ingredients. We start off by 400 grams of diced chicken breast. We need 1 cup of sliced button mushroom, 2 cups of Arborio rice, if I can pronounce that properly. For risotto, we need this type of rice. We need half a cup of finely diced onion, half a cup chopped asparagus, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, also 2 tablespoons of garlic butter, 200 ml of thickened cream, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, teaspoon and a half of Vegeta, tablespoon and a half of crushed garlic, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of white pepper. We will also need half a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of finely chopped parsley, and approximately 5 cups of boiling water. Now let's get started. We place our oil in a preheated pan, and as you can see, it'll start to bubble right away, so we immediately add our chicken. So once our chicken is in, we want to spread it out in the pan. We want to fully cook it. I want it golden brown. After we cook it, we'll be removing it off the heat, putting it on the side, and then we'll add it back in at the end. So cook it very well. I don't want it dry, but obviously we want it cooked through. So we add our white pepper and black pepper to it, and we stir them through a little bit. And then once it starts getting that golden color, we will add our salt. So there we go, it's starting to brown. Stir through, and then we'll remove it off the heat and place it on the side. The next step is to get our onion and place it in the same pan. We don't wash the pan. We need the oil that's left. We might need to add a bit more oil. So we fry the onion a little bit, and then we will add to it our crushed garlic. Now what we need is to achieve a golden brown color on these before we start adding the rice. So there we go. Once it's golden brown, we add in our rice. Now what we want to do is to heat our rice. We want each grain of rice to be hot. We do not want it browned, we want it hot. So we stir through the rice in the pan with our garlic, with our onions, and we'll wait for it until it's hot before we start adding our water. Now this process will take just a couple of minutes, depends on how hot your pan is. Now once you've heated up the rice, you add your Vegeta. You can add chicken stock instead of Vegeta and water, or if you don't have any chicken stock, you just add the Vegeta and you start adding water bit by bit. So now that's all mixed through. We get our water, and we will first add approximately 2 cups of water to start it off. Add the water, and then we'll start stirring at this stage. We will not stop stirring until the dish is completed now. So keep stirring. What will happen is the water will dry out. Once that happens, you keep adding a ladle of water at a time. So as you can see, it's starting to dry out. You just keep stirring it. As you can see also, the rice obviously is still not cooked. You keep stirring, and now see how the water has dried out. At this stage, you add a ladle of water, and you continue to do the same thing over and over until the rice is cooked approximately 95% of the way, because it will continue to cook later on when we add the butter and cream. So keep doing that. This will take you approximately 17 minutes for the rice to cook 95% of the way. So every time the water dries out, Don't let it dry out completely. Just before it completely dries out, you add your ladle of water. The way to find out that your rice is cooked is to get one grain of rice and put it between your fingers and press on it. If it squashes all the way, then it's cooked. If a little piece of hard rice is still left on your finger, that means that it needs more cooking. You can also tell by the darker white color in the middle of the rice grain. That means that it still needs a little bit more cooking. So once the rice has cooked through, we add one last ladle of water, and then you can tell that it's cooked by the color of it. We start adding our mushroom. So we place our mushroom in there, we stir it through. We don't have to wait long, just a little bit of a stir really, and then we add our asparagus in. The asparagus will give it a good crunch. If you like asparagus, I recommend that you add it in there. It gives it a very nice flavor and a nice color as well. Now, if you will have a look at your rice, a close-up of the rice, you'll see that there's no more white bit in the middle of the rice. So that hard little bit that's in the middle is gone. So once that happens, you wait for the water to dry out a little bit, not completely, but just as it is in the photo now. And we add in our butter. This is garlic butter. You can substitute it for normal butter, but I prefer the garlic flavor. It's really punchy and it's really nice with this dish. So just wait for it to melt. Always keep stirring. Do not stop stirring. If you know how to toss, unlike me, go ahead and do so, but stirring is the way to go for me. So once it's melted, we then start adding the remainder of our ingredients. Just make sure that it's all melted and it's all incorporated throughout the whole pan. There you go. See, it's already starting to become creamy. Now we add 200 mils of cream. I won't be adding all of that cream, just 200 mils of it. And you'll straight away see the change of color and texture of the rice. Keep stirring it. What we want to do is to reduce this cream. See, it's a bit watery on the sides. You'll be able to tell that it's watery. We want it to thicken. So let it reduce. As you can see, it's reducing. It's become really creamy. We want it even thicker than that. So later on, that's why we'll be adding the Parmesan cheese. It'll thicken it up a little bit. But before we add the Parmesan cheese, what we need to do is add so get a parsley. We add 3/4 of it. We'll just leave a little bit on the side for garnish. The parsley also gives it a nice color and a nice flavor and a little bit of freshness. So just stir it in through. Just like so. Now our Parmesan cheese. We add it all in there. The Parmesan cheese is salty, so before you add it in there, taste first to see if your rice is too salty, then don't add the whole amount. But with the ratios I gave you, the rice shouldn't be salty, but just in case, give it a taste. Why not? Yum. Look how creamy that is. The cheese has thickened it up a little bit more. Now I'll just give it a couple of minutes for the rice to absorb all the cream and to really get nice and thick and creamy. So just keep stirring it through. And remember our chicken? We add it back in now. stir it through. And you guys will love this. This is really, really nice, guys. I'll be making another video for arancini balls using this same risotto. So if you have any risotto left over the next day, do not throw it away. Whatever you do, do not throw it away. I'll be making another video with the recipe of arancini balls. These balls are crunchy, cheesy, just full of goodness. You will love it as well. So if you have a look at your rice, now this stage, you might think that it's overcooked or it's mushy, but if you have a good look, it's actually all separated. Each grain is separated from the other. There is no mushy rice. Have a look at that. That's the cream that's bringing it all together. This rice is cooked to perfection. You can also see that the rice is not broken. Every rice is complete, every grain. There's no broken rice. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but this is just cooked perfectly. You can tell how creamy the rice has become. The cream has thickened. The cheese has helped with that. And we are done. So now for the moment of truth, as I always say. Look at that. So creamy. So perfect. So delicious. So just get a bit of everything. Place it in your plate. Garnish it with the parsley, and there you have it. Oh, a bowl of perfection. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button to get all my upcoming recipes. Bye everyone.